All right, welcome back. Let's get you up to speed on everything you, as a UK business owner, need to know this week. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it.
Okay, so what's the big story this week? Well, it is all about the UK job market. The latest numbers from the Office for National Statistics are telling a really clear story. And that story is that things are definitely starting to cool off.
And here it is, the number you really need to see. The UK unemployment rate has now hit 5% for the 3 months leading up to September. Now, this is a big deal, right? It's actually the highest we've seen since way back in early 2021, and it's a huge sign that the labor market is feeling the pressure ahead of the government's budget.
And this chart, it just lays it all out, plain and simple. While pay growth is slowing down overall, just look at the difference here. You've got public sector wages climbing by 6.6%, while the private sector is way behind at 4.2%. For you, as a business owner, that growing gap isn't just some number on a chart, that's a real headache when you're trying to attract and keep great people.
In this quote from Richard Carter, it just hits the nail on the head. So many businesses are basically hitting the brakes on hiring right now. I mean, with the budget just around the corner, there's just so much uncertainty about what new costs or tax changes might be coming. It's making it really tough to commit to bringing new people on board.
Okay, so with all that uncertainty swirling around, let's switch gears and look at what's actually on the horizon. There are some really crucial changes coming that you absolutely need to get ready for. You know, preparation is everything.
First up, and this is a big one, straight from HMRC. They're already sending out letters about making tax digital for income tax. So starting in April 2026, if you're a sole trader or a landlord and your gross income is over £50,000, you're going to have to do this. It means digital records, quarterly reports, the whole shebang.
So the bottom line here is don't let this sneak up on you. First things first, check if you might be exempt. You never know. If you're not, the path is pretty clear. Get the right software sorted, and then make sure you sign up officially on the government website. Seriously, doing it now will save you a world of pain later on.
Now, if your business has anything to do with intellectual property, we're talking patents, trademarks, that kind of stuff, then listen up. The Intellectual Property Office, the IPO, is planning on hiking its fees by a pretty significant 25%, and that's also scheduled for April 2026.
And here's where it hits home. Look at the actual numbers. A patent search is going to jump from 150 quid to 200. A standard trademark application is going from 170 up to 205. The IPO says it's just to keep up with inflation, but for you, that's a direct cost you're going to have to factor into your budget.
Okay, let's park the finances for a second and talk about something even more important, your people. Your duty of care as an employer is so critical, and we've got a couple of really important updates on that front this week.
And with the holidays literally right around the corner, this is a question you really need to be asking yourself. Because of the new Worker Protection Act, your legal duty to prevent sexual harassment now clearly covers work social events. Yep, like the Christmas party. This is not about canceling the fun, but it does mean you have to plan really carefully. So what can you do? Well, the Equality and Human Rights Commission has boiled it down to these 3 simple, practical tips. It's all about being proactive. Think about things like managing the free bar, setting very clear expectations about behavior before the party, and even thinking about risks from other people who might be at the venue.
And sticking with safety, this next one is absolutely critical. Seriously, if you manage any building that was built before the year 2000, you need to pay close attention to this. The Health and Safety Executive is looking at proposals to tighten up the rules around asbestos management.
So, what are they looking at? Well, it's these 3 big things. Making sure clearance checks are truly independent, raising the game on the quality of asbestos surveys, and making the rules clearer for certain lower-risk jobs. And let's be honest, given that asbestos is still the UK's biggest single cause of work-related deaths, these changes are just vital.
All right, let's switch gears for a second because we've got some genuinely good news to share, especially for anyone in the transport and logistics world. The DVLA has just made a really big modernizing update to the rules for professional drivers with diabetes. This is just a game changer, isn't it? Before, lorry, bus, and coach drivers had to rely on these fiddly manual finger prick tests. But from now on, they can use these amazing real-time continuous glucose monitoring systems. It's a fantastic example of embracing technology to make managing a condition easier and, crucially, safer for everyone on the road.
All right, to wrap things up, let's head into the digital world for our last 2 updates. And trust me, these affect every single one of you, no matter what business you're in.
Check out this quote.
It's from someone who's already used this brand new and completely free toolkit from the National Cybersecurity Center. It's designed to help small businesses beef up their cyber defenses, and it sounds like it's really doing its job by making a complicated topic feel, well, doable.
So who is this for? Well, it's pretty much for any small business that feels a little bit lost when it comes to cybersecurity. You know, if you don't have a dedicated IT person or a massive budget, this is for you. The whole point is to give you simple, concrete steps, because the hard truth is no business is too small to be a target anymore. And sticking with data, the Information Commissioner's Office, the ICO, is trying to pull back the curtain on how they do things. They've started a consultation on new guidance that will lay out exactly how they handle investigations and decide what to do when there's a data breach.
Basically, this new guidance is going to break down the whole mysterious process for you. You'll understand exactly how they kick off an investigation, what to expect if it's you, how they make their decisions, and even how settlements might work. If you handle any kind of data, knowing this stuff is invaluable. So when you look at everything we've talked about today, from the economy to tax to safety, what's the one thread that ties it all together? It's pretty simple, really. Staying informed is how you stay prepared. Being proactive is everything.
And that's a wrap on this week's update. You know, this week brought a lot of change, and next week will too. So the real question to leave you with is, what are you doing today to make sure your business is ready for whatever comes next? Thanks for joining me.